if you decide to prepare for the PMP exam, then you need to be aware that their new version is actually in place, and you should not use the previous resources that are available for the previous version. You need to focus on preparing on the right materials, and that's why I'm creating this video, which is focusing on what to study for the new PMP exam. But before we start talking about the new materials and resources, we need to understand a little bit what's changing. And that's the first part. What's new in this PMP exam? Actually, there are two major differences. The first difference is that this new exam contains case studies. What case studies mean? Actually, they are questions, but instead of having a question and then 4 options and it's over, and after that you move on to another question, we have a case study, and after the case study you will see 3 to 5 questions related to the case study. For example, you might have a case study about analyzing stakeholders, and on each question it refers to the case studies and give you a question related to the case study, and every time they test you on this case study. So here, for example, instead of having question 1, then question 2, then question 3, and they are totally independent. In the case of having case studies, all these questions are related to a case study, and you need to refer back to the case study in order to reply to these different questions. So that's the difference. On the PMP exam, you might expect at least 2 case studies, and for each of these case studies you might expect 3 to 5 questions, as I said. So that's the new thing compared to the previous edition of the PMP exam, which is the major change that we are having here. Now the second change is about the business environment section. The business environment is becoming important in the new PMP exam, and if you refer to the exam content outline, this percentage has significantly increased from the previous edition. Now the questions will be related more on the business environment. But how this manifests? Actually, this could be manifesting in 3 things. The first thing is that the project manager should now focus on value, and they need to have a holistic view. They need to always focus on the ultimate objective of what they are doing. They need to always review the ultimate goal of the project, and that's related to the business environment and having or creating the outcomes of the project instead of just focusing on the outputs. So here, outcomes versus output. Before we are focusing on delivering deliverables, but now we are focusing on delivering value and achieving the objectives of the project. So this is something that you need to be focusing on during the exam questions. The second thing that you need to keep in mind for this new edition is the sustainability, which is considering the 3 bottom lines, which are the planet, people, and profit. This is an important concept that we need to understand and we need to consider when replying to questions that are related to the new PMP exam. The third thing is related to the PMBOK 8th edition, and it's considered as a new performance domain. What it is? Governance. Excellent. The governance is a concept which is related to decision making and trying to integrate the different parts of the project management and trying to facilitate decisions and set up processes and KPIs, measurements, in order to create the system that leads at the end to creating the project objectives and achieving success. So this is governance, which is also related to having a system aligned with the business environment, and the project manager is the person that needs to be aware of this system and aware of this environment in order to achieve the vision, not just of the project, but of the whole organization. Okay, so that's what is new when it comes to the new PMP exam. There are some other changes like the addition of the AI, for example. You might encounter new questions about AI, or there are some new concepts like smart contract or dispute board, etc. And all these concepts could be included in the new exam. So the next question is, what are the resources that I can use in order to discover all these new concepts and learn about them, and not being surprised on the day of the exam and discover something that I have never heard about? And therefore, I'm going to recommend a list of study resources that you can use, and they cover almost everything that you might be encountering in the PMP exam. I have divided these materials into 3 types. The first type is the 35 hours course, because you need 35 contact hours in order to apply for the PMP exam. So without this, you cannot apply to the exam. That's why you need to attend a course. And here there are 2 options. There are an online option where you just follow a pre-recorded course, or you attend a virtual live training or in-person training if you could afford that, because usually it's much more expensive to attend in-person training. Then the second type is practice questions, because usually when you attend a course, you just get the theoretical knowledge, but you don't get the techniques to solve questions, and that's why you need to solve questions before the real exam in order to assess your readiness and understand how these questions look like before you attend the real exam. And third are the books. If you feel that you need to read more, or if you are the kind of person that you prefer reading, then reading books is also something good, and I also recommend that you check books in addition to attending a course and practicing questions. These books could be used at the same time of attending a course and practicing questions. So let's get started with the course. For the course, if you prefer a cheap and reliable option, I would naturally recommend my course. That's obvious. And my course is named PMP 35 Hours Master Course. You go to Udemy and write in the search bar PMP 35 Hours Master Course, and you find my course right away. The good thing is that this course is updated for the new PMP exam content outline and is also aligned with the PMP 8th edition. The second option that you might choose for getting the 35 contact hours is attending a virtual live training. In order for your contact hours to be approved by PMI, the virtual live training should be from an ATP, authorized training partner. Okay, so here ATP organization, and I will put the link for the ATP organizations in the description box, so you can check the organizations in your country and select ones and check their websites and see if they have available training coming soon. The advantage of this option compared to the recorded option is that you can attend and ask questions directly, and you will be much more committed. But I would recommend highly that you know the instructor before enrolling. Check who is going to be the instructor, Google the instructor and try to find if they have already a YouTube channel or something like that. Try to watch them, listen to them, and see if you are going to enjoy the training afterwards when attending 4 days with this trainer or not. That's important because it happened to me that I have attended trainings before where I don't know the instructor and I was disappointed, and it was a lessons learned for me that in the future any training that I will attend, I should know about the instructor. So that's when it comes to the 35 contact hours. Now let's move on to the practice questions. Again, you have 2 options, and again I'm recommending my resources. I have a book called PMP Practice Tests. This book is available on Amazon. It's available as a PDF as well, and also the same content available on Udemy. This book contains 720 questions. It's aligned with the PMP 8th edition and also aligned with the new exam content outline, and includes case studies like we have discussed here, and also include all these new concepts that we have already talked about. That's very important because unfortunately sometimes I receive messages from people that they used outdated resources and they failed their exam because they think that the exam is going to be similar to that outdated resources, and they discover the day of the exam that the exam is much more complicated than they have imagined based on what they have used as resources. That's important. Here, PMP mock practice tests. I will put the links in the description box. The second option is the PMI Study Hall. PMI Study Hall. This is also a good resource that you can use. It classifies questions into easy, moderate, and difficult, and it is also aligned with the new exam content outline. You can use it to assess your readiness, and it's also close to the actual exam in terms of format and in terms of ideas, etc. So that's my recommendations when it comes to practice questions. Now let's move on to the books. Of course, since you are preparing for the PMP, you should be aware of the PMBAK 8th edition, and the PMBAK 8th edition is a good resource that you can use, the PMBAK 8th edition. However, if you are starting the preparation and you are still not a PMI member, don't get the book from Amazon unless you prefer the paper book. But if it is fine to just get the PDF version, I would recommend that you go to PMI website, be a PMI member, and if you are a PMI member, you can get the PMBAK 8th edition for free. This is the first advantage. The second advantage is that when you are ready and you apply for the PMP, you get a reduction for paying the exam. So if you are starting preparing and you'd like to get the PMBAK 8th edition, do the membership. I have created a video that you can check here about downloading the PMBAK 8th edition, and I have talked about this point exactly. The second resource that I recommend is the Agile Practice Guide. The good news is there is a second edition that is coming out very soon. I'm recording this video on 9th of July 2026, and the second edition of the Agile Practice Guide is coming on 23 of July. So almost 2 weeks from now, the new edition will be released. And again, you can download the PDF for free if you are a PMI member. So if you are a PMI member, you get the PMBAK 8th edition and you get the Agile Practice Guide for free. And that's a very good deal actually. And when you are preparing using the course or using the questions and you encounter a new keyword, you just open the PDF, search for it, read the paragraph, and try to understand or deep dive more with this, and you will get familiar with these new concepts if you have the PDF versions. Of course, for those who prefer the paper version, you can do it and you can get them from Amazon. The third book that I recommend is the PMP Cheat Sheets. What's this? Actually, this is my book again. This is the first edition of the PMP cheat sheet. I'm working on a second edition. The first edition contains 30 pages like this. About each page contain a topic like this: team motivation, teamwork and collaboration. The new edition of this book will contain 72 pages. And what is important is the PMP mindset in the new edition of this book. I will put the link of this new edition in the description box as well. And the PMP mindset that will be including in this edition will tell which is the right option when you read the PMP question. This will be in the new edition coming out in almost 1 month from now, which will be in mid-August 2026. To sum up, you need to understand that the new exam is going to be different. There are new case studies, there are more questions about business environment, there are more focuses on value, sustainability, governance, and some new other concepts. And when it comes to the preparation, you need 35 contact hours, you need to practice more questions, and finally you need books that support your preparation. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. In the next video, I'm going to talk about the PMP mindset for the new exam.